Hello, and a happy early Halloween to you. I know we're a little early on this, but Kimberly and I both have some really good witch books to recommend to you, and we thought we would like to talk to you about them today. So first up, I would like to talk about one of my favorite recent books, The Black Witch by Laurie. The main character, Lauren Gardner, looks so much like her famous grandmother, Carnissa, the last prophesied Black Witch. And even though her brothers have magical ability, she doesn't seem to. But she finally gets the chance to study at Verpax University, a very prestigious institution, and she'll be able to follow her dream to become an apothecary, where she will discover an exciting new world. As a Gardnerian, a member of the ruling race, Lauren has been raised to believe that other peoples, including elves, fae, Celts, shape-shifting selkies and lupins, and the fire-wielding Icarals, are untrustworthy, dangerous, and even demonic. But as she meets students from other parts of the realm, she begins to hear about how harshly the Gardnerians treat other races, and she develops sympathy for an underground resistance movement. When I first read this book, I read it as a real powerful critique of racism, sexism, homophobia, and all the other ways that we separate and label other people. And Lauren starts off with a very fixed, self-assured worldview that fits firmly within her own belief system, but the book shows how exposure to education and to other cultures helps a person broaden their worldview and become more tolerant and supportive of the differences between us all. Now, this is probably going to be a large series. There are a couple of novellas that precede The Black Witch, but at this point there are 2 other books out following this. There's The Iron Flower and The Shadow Wand, and I think there are a couple more planned after that. So if you really want to soak up some witchy culture, this is a really interesting book to read. Kimberly?
Hi, my first book is the Physick book of Deliverance, Dane. This is by Katherine, Howe. And Connie is a grad student. She's just finished up her orals, and she's getting ready to do her dissertation. And that she needs a subject for her dissertation. In the meantime, her mother asks her to check out her grandmother's old house, get it ready for sale, and clean it up. Well, while she's working on the house, she discovers a family Bible that has a name called Deliverance Dane written down inside it. And she starts to research this person who she realizes is a relative. This opens up a multi-general saga about Salem, witches, and modern-day Salem. Connie meets a young gentleman, falls in love. He gets very ill. Is he hexed? Can she save him? Read the Physick book of Deliverance Dane to find out.
I have another YA book like The Black Witch called Winterwood by Shea Ernshaw. This book features a character who is just rumored to be a witch and has a family history of unusual talents that would seem to be magical. Like the other women in her family, Nora Walker feels an affinity for the Wicker Woods near her home, though other people find it a very dark and eerie place. And in the midst of a snowstorm, she finds a lost boy in the woods, a boy who disappeared from the nearby Camp for Wayward Boys weeks before. Oliver has no memory of how he got to the woods or what happened before that. But as he and Nora learn about another boy who went missing the same night as Oliver and who was found dead, they end up circling around each other and each other's secrets before they learn the truth. This teen thriller with a touch of horror also has a lot to say about loneliness and the difficulty of fitting into society. As Nora says early in the book, others look at me and see a witch, a girl who is dangerous and fearless and full of dark thoughts. But they don't see the parts of me I keep hidden. No one sees that I have just as many wounds as everyone else. And as the book shows, loneliness is sometimes what we fear the most.
My next book is probably one of my favorite books that has a witch in it. This is called The Discovery of Witches. This is by Deborah Harkness. And Diana is a young lady with witch powers that she really doesn't want to use. She's been told her parents were killed for being witches while they were visiting Africa, so she really doesn't want anything to do with her powers. She also happens to be in the academic world, just like the lady in my first book. And Diana is working on a paper when she asks for a book that no one has seen in forever, and all of a sudden they are able to find the book, and she opens it. When she opens it, something weird happens. The words start moving, and all of a sudden she realizes that people are staring at her, and she's trying to figure out what this book is saying. Well, it turns out that this book is extremely rare. It's the only copy, and it seems to be an alchemy text of some sort. She ends up discovering this whole wide world of witches, vampires, and demons. And she falls in love with a vampire, which is completely forbidden by the Covenant. Will she figure out what this book is doing? And it disappears as soon as she returns it. She needs to find it again. Will she be able to find it again? What will happen with this love that is completely forbidden? Read A Discovery of Witches to find out.
And finally, I have a middle grade book, which is a graphic novel called Witch Boy by Molly Ostertag. 13-year-old Aster has grown up in a family where all the girls are raised to be witches and all the boys grow up to be shapeshifters. Aster, though, hasn't shifted, and he would much rather spend his time studying spells and other witchery with the girls, even when the adults scold and punish him. Aster finds support from a new non-magical friend who convinces him to try practicing his skills and to be the witch he believes he can be. And when a mysterious threat harms the other boys, Aster taps into those witchy skills to help. Witch Boy is the first in a series of 3 very vividly illustrated graphic novels. I just love some of the pictures and the detail that are included here. And each book in the series stresses the importance of being true to yourself without conforming to the roles that other people have set out for you. The books also offer heartwarming stories of family and friendship mixed with the joy found in embracing diversity. And even though the books are aimed at tweens and teens, adults can find a lot to enjoy in them as well.
My last book is a young adult book called Hex Hall. The author is Rachel Hawkins. Sophie is a young lady who finds herself in trouble when she casts a spell at her prom. And, witches aren't supposed to reveal themselves to the everyday world. So she ends up getting sent to this school for witches, shapeshifters, and even a vampire, along with some fairies, called Hex Hall. When she gets sent to this school, she quickly finds out that her father, who she knows almost nothing about, is the head wizard in the organization of witches. This means that she gets picked on a lot at the school. The main plot line through this book is mysterious murder that's taken place where the body's drained of blood and has holes on the side of its neck. Sophie has the only vampire in the entire Hex Hall as a roommate, and she really doesn't think she's the one who did it. So who committed this murder, and why would they make it look like a vampire killed the person? Read Hex Hall to find out.
So those are our suggestions to get you started for Halloween. There are plenty of other really good books if you're into vampires or werewolves or other spooky creatures, but we thought we would take care of the witches for today. So in the meantime, we hope you have fun reading and have a spooky Halloween.
Bye.
Bye-bye.